The Premier League has a stability problem, not a small one. Basically, this has never happened before one. What I mean by that is there are 9 clubs this season, starting off with a new manager. But there is specifically one club that has a new manager who has never done this job before. And when I went and checked actually how rare this is, it actually sounds worse than it is. But here's what nobody's talking about. 2 of these 9 clubs are actually facing each other off on the opening weekend. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into it. Here's the number. 9 Premier League clubs are starting this season with new managers, with one who has actually never held that exact job before. So 9 out of 20, almost half of the league, and according to Opta, only 2 seasons in the entire history of English top flight football even came close. We are talking of 1888 to 1889, the league's first ever season. And then in 1946 to 47, the first season back after World War II had shut football down for 6 years. That's the comparison. The league being invented or the league restarting after the world stopped. So these 9 clubs, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Fulham and Ipswich all have brand new bosses at once. Kickoff is on August the 21st and we are ready for it. So quick pause here before I continue. Just a mad stat that I saw recently in my analytics. 90% of you haven't yet subscribed to this channel and I'm wondering if you've made it this far in the video, that means this channel is for you. You just haven't made it official yet. So here's the part where you go ahead to support this channel by hitting the subscribe button or liking this video so it can be pushed to other people. So now back to the video. So I started pulling a thread on each of these 9 managers and almost immediately a pattern jumps out. This isn't a collapse, this is a chain reaction. One domino knocking into the next one. So at the top, Pep Guardiola leaves Manchester City after basically defining an error there. City needs someone huge, so what do? They go and pull Enzo Maresca straight out of Chelsea mid-project. And they lock him in on a 3-year deal, which leaves Chelsea needing a manager. So what does Chelsea do? They go and get Xabi Alonso, fresh off of winning Bayern Leverkusen's first ever league title, and lock him in for a 4-year deal from the 1st of July, basically straight into business. One departure, 2 clubs raiding each other for the exact guy they wanted. And now it doesn't stop there. Andy Iraola built his whole reputation at Bournemouth. His contract simply ran out and Liverpool came knocking at his door. Bournemouth suddenly needing to have a replacement for their manager, so who do they go and get? They go and get Marco Rose. Then over at Nottingham Forest, more on the actual story in a second. And the man they hired, Oliver Glasner, gets pulled straight out of Crystal Palace. Which means Crystal Palace now needs someone there too, so who do Crystal Palace go after? They land themselves Pereira. 3 separate chains, 6 of these 9 clubs. Not one of them is having a crisis right now, it's just clubs chasing the managers that somebody else already wanted. Okay, but real talk here. 2 of these 9 managers didn't just happen because some club got a better offer for them. They happened because it just went wrong for them. Let's start off with Liverpool. Liverpool sacked Arne Slot in May. They had finished 5th the year before, which for Liverpool is a disaster, so they pulled the trigger fast. Now, let's talk about Forest. Forest had the same deal. They straight up sacked Victor Pereira, and this was even before Glasner was even mentioned in any conversation. So no drama, no big story, results were just so bad, so he was gone. So look at the whole picture. Out of these 9 changes, 2 exactly what you'd expect. The manager underperforms, manager gets sacked. A bunch more, like we just talked about, are basically managers and clubs choosing each other. And honestly, 2 of these, Fulham and Ipswich, which I have to be honest, I haven't got anything solid on yet, nobody said why. So for that reason, I'm just gonna make something up. And that's exactly where the twist here is. This isn't why the Premier League is falling apart. It's more like, why is everybody suddenly so up for change? Now, there's one more that doesn't really fit this bucket either. Let's talk about Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe wasn't sacked at Newcastle. He walked away by himself, almost 5 years, which is wild because that's one of the most stable spells any manager has had in the league lately. His replacement is Matthias Jaissle. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but man, let's call him Matthias. Matthias is 38 years old, coming in from Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. And here's where it gets good. So, Matthias has never managed a single Premier League club game ever. And Iraola, he never ran a club with the weight Liverpool carries. So this is easily the biggest job both of them are ever going to have. So mark this down, August 23rd, match day. Newcastle host Liverpool at St. James Park. That's Iraola's first game as Liverpool's boss. And Matthias, on the other hand, that's his first Premier League game, full stop. Same match, same day. These two guys who have never done this before, walking out in front of 52,000 people on the opening weekend of the biggest league on the planet. If you want a real test on anything ever talked about, that for you is right there to witness. Now, here's the thing that kind of messes with the it's all fine version of the story though. Doesn't matter if each of them move with ambition or crisis, what matters the most is the 9 clubs, a fifth of the league, are all trying to do the same thing at once. A new style of play, new voice in the dressing room, relationship with their fans, all at the same time in the same 6-week window. Normally clubs get a bit of breathing room, a full preseason, a settling in period where nobody's panicking about the results. These 9 clubs don't really get that this year because they are all going through it together, against each other, from one week to the next one. So even the good version of this, ambition not panic, still means a huge chunk of the league is walking into the season not really knowing what they are going to look like. So, does the Premier League actually have a stability problem? Not really, not the way it sounds. This isn't 9 clubs falling apart. Honestly, it's the opposite. It's clubs and managers confident enough to go and get who they actually wanted, even mid-project or even out of someone else's dressing room. But I'll say it straight, the record is real, and so is the risk. 9 clubs, a fifth of the league, are walking into the season with zero continuity. That's not a crisis, that's a bet, one massive one, all happening at once and made up of 9 different clubs in 9 different boardrooms. Some of those bets are basically a sure thing. So let's talk about Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso just won a title in his first season at a huge club. And now when we talk about the others, so when we flip the coin around, nobody has a clue what Matthias actually looks like at this level yet. And that's exactly why August 23rd matters more than it should for the opening weekend of the league. So you have Newcastle hosting Liverpool, and Matthias is basically playing Iraola. 2 guys who have never done this job at a bigger club before, same pitch, same day. It won't prove or disapprove the whole theory of the 9 clubs, meaning that these are 9 different stories, but it's just to say, do we see the first real answer we have been expecting? And I'll be straight with you, I genuinely don't know this yet and possibly won't know how this will go, but it makes the story more fascinating and we shall be watching. We are going to find out fast. Match day is only 10 days away and the excitement continues. So I encourage you to subscribe because I will be back here the second those first results land. 23rd isn't far. See you in my next video.